All right, another episode of the Elite Show with special guest Michael Dowd.
Thanks for having me.
And
Getting
John,
tired of being called special guest.
You're not a special guest with me, Mike. You're always with me.
I thought he would like the special part of it, but okay. I guess
I got the special guest today.
Okay, you've brought the special guest today.
Yes. And, everybody knows I love baseball, played baseball, and I have a young guy who I think is promising talent to hopefully make the pros, and this is Ben Sachs.
Nice to meet you. And, thanks for having me down today. I'm really excited. I've been watching the Alite Show for a while now, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for coming in.
Thanks.
Of course. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
You want to start off, John?
No, shoot out. Go ahead. I said my piece.
Okay. All right, so how long have you been playing baseball for?
Oh, man, how long? I'm 21 now, so I probably started playing with a bat when I was 3, 4, and I started, seriously taking it up when I got I started my first travel team when I was 9.
Were you hitting anybody with the bat or just playing baseball?
No, just playing baseball. No hitting.
So you weren't like John?
No, I wasn't hitting no one. Don't worry.
No.
And then
He's not hitting anybody now either.
New man.
Right.
And then what made you decide that pitching was what you wanted to do?
I'd say probably when I was about 10. I played the infield, but hitting was my weaker point. Pitching was always my strong point in baseball, so I kind of continued to take that more seriously. I'd still practice ground balls at short, third, whatever, but pitching was like an art to me, and I just kept practicing, and I started getting better and better, and then as I got older, I just started taking off, and that's where that's my stronghold.
How tall are you, about 6'5"?
Yeah, about 6'4" and a half, 6'5".
So you're good
long
size.
arms.
Yeah.
He looks like a pitcher.
Yeah.
He's strong, he's athletic.
And now you're in Palm Beach State?
Palm Beach State College, yep.
With plans to go to FSU?
FAU.
FAU. I was messing up.
FAU.
Original New York guy.
Yeah,
so,
from Long Island.
And your dad, is he athletic? Does he play ball?
My dad played, see, that's the thing is my dad played baseball. He played men's league till he was about 40, and then he was having some injury problems, so he stopped playing baseball.
Really? Did he?
Yeah.
Does he know my friend Steve Dennis that played ball?
No, Steve Dennis.
Oh, he does know
I see him at the gym all the time.
Bobby Carroll? Does he know Bobby Carroll?
Yeah, I know Bobby.
Bobby Carroll. I do not know that
Bobby.
name.
I know Bobby from Steve. Actually,
Bobby Carroll is the fire commissioner.
I didn't know
Deputy
that.
commissioner, fire department.
I had no idea.
When my
He's a ball
I don't
player.
know him personally.
He's a ball
but I know
player.
him. Yeah. I didn't know him personally.
See, he's my age.
When my dad introduced me to Steve, I was talking to Steve, my dad, and he handed me a card. He's like, "Here, if you ever want to play for a team," he goes, "I got you." And I put it in my wallet. I still have it at my other wallet at home.
Hey, Steve, if you're out there, and I know you now. You're going to listen because I'm going to have to tell you about this. Steve was some ball player, and he's just athletics. Always a thin guy, but very strong.
Yeah.
And we played ball together since we're kids. I mean, literally little kids, and then later on in high school. So we were freshmen playing varsity ball since we're kids.
So I got to ask you this question.
Of course.
You couldn't, you like most kids when they start playing baseball, it's because they can hit the ball. Like throwing is like not the first love.
Well, see, when I was
So did you able to hit the ball?
No, I was. I loved hitting, and I used to go on my base.
Because you started out like hitting wasn't.
I mean, as I got older, when I put it in perspective is when I took baseball really seriously.
Okay, so when you took baseball serious. Okay.
Very seriously. Like when I got older. Like
How old?
school-
6?
Middle school age, so probably 12.
What made you go from being fun ball player to serious? What made you think serious? What? Why?
I'd say when I
Because
started
that's
getting
important,
travel-
That's why I'm asking this.
Well,
question.
yeah, no, of
Set
course.
you up here.
So when I got to about the age of 10, I started playing at this facility in Long Island called Baseball Heaven.
Yeah, baseball
Yeah,
heaven.
and it was like,
everybody
to
knows
me
baseball
from Kings
heaven,
Park
Long
to Baseball
Island.
Heaven, it was like playing at a pro stadium, and I was like, oh, these kids are good. Like I want to be better than them. I want to work to their potential and be better. So that's when I started taking baseball that seriously, where I was like
10?
practicing. Yeah, I would take swings. Me and my dad used to go in the basement every day. I used to have a net down there, and we used to take hacks every day.
See, that's a key, what you just said, for the people that are listening. You will learn to be disciplined and enjoy working out. So if you enjoy it, your father is obviously a big
He
part.
had a father first.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's a big part of it because a lot of the kids, they don't have a parent that's involved.
Yeah.
You don't have a good, a good support system that you definitely have because we talk off the air. And your father spends the time and cares about you. So,
Yes, of
which
course.
is a good, and it's good discipline habits to take it to the next levels.
I got to ask you this question. I'm sorry to interrupt like this, but there's a guy in Kings Park who worked in the union. He's got a bald head, and he's very avid in baseball. He's probably 55 now. He's got 1 or 2 kids. They're pretty good ball players. He's a union worker with me in the hospital. You got to know him. He's big in Kings Park. His name is slipping me right now, but he worked with me in the hospital.
You got to tell me.
He worked with me in the hospital, and he was big in Kings Park baseball. It just can't think. I'm going to think about it during.
You got to think about it.
I'm going to think about it.
I tell you all the time, between your age, we got to stop drinking before we get.
I don't drink, you know that. But
well, you didn't drink today? It
no,
was just me.
You think
I must have ordered 2 and then drank yours.
Yeah, I don't drink. You know that. But
I got to think.
But if I say George, but I can't think right now. But anyway, yeah. And the guy's avid. He's into all the intramurals. He's into baseball heaven. He's into the whole thing up there. I'm trying. And he's from Kings Park. He lives in Kings Park. His kids play ball in Kings Park.
He was trying to help you out there, and you didn't go for it.
I'm not.
I threw him the lifeline. He didn't take it.
You threw him the hook, but
because I'm old. I'm old. It's not about that. I'm old.
What leagues did you play in?
Okay, so when I was younger, I played in KPY, which is normal in-house baseball, and then I went to Kings Park Travel Baseball when I was 9. It was a fall league. And then the next summer...
That's where he coached, by the way, Kings Travel Ball.
Yeah, so after that, I played for a travel team out in baseball heaven. And then from my when I was 10 until, college baseball, I was playing at baseball heaven, going to tournaments. And then actually, when I was 18, I went to the Dominican Republic for a week to play pro.
Oh, really? Those kids are... Those guys.
They're good.
The guys are good.
They're good out there, right?
It was great. It was the best experience I've ever had.
Did you ever go up to Williamsport, PA?
Williamsport. No, I've been to Cooperstown. I played there. I played in Cooperstown when I was 12. That was fun, too.
Yeah, that's fun. As a kid, when you that'll give you what you were talking about, the motivation to want to take it to the next level.
That experience of being a young kid, you're getting the little pins and stuff. You're playing with all the kids across the country. You're seeing kids from Hawaii, California, Florida. Now, when you're a young kid and you're seeing kids from Hawaii, California, Florida, that's not just New York. I mean, that's expanding really far. And you're like, all right, this incentive to...
And you measure it up against them a little bit. You whip your shit out, they whip their shit out, right?
Of course. Yeah.
What's the... When was the first time? The
guy's 6'5". I hope it's proportionate.
Do you remember the first time you took the mound?
Oh, man. Do I remember the first time I took the... No, I mean, honestly, no. I mean, it would definitely be when I was probably... 8 or 9, 8 or 9, around there. Yeah. And I started as a relief guy. Now,
my brother was a pitcher as a kid in the minors, which was about, I guess, that age. And my father handed him the ball and told him to pitch, and he pitched a no-hitter.
Yeah.
And, my father was very aggressive, so we had no choice but to be. We were quiet, but he was my brother was. And I'm going to get to a point. He had a great changeup as a kid. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going to ask you is, what kind of fastball you got?
Low 90s fastball, has nice in run on a right hand batter.
And what's your second?
Are you lefty or righty?
No, I'm a righty.
Okay.
No, I'm a righty. Righty hitter, lefty
batter.
Yeah.
Wow.
The same as me. Did your father teach you that to get the one step to first base? Do you know?
No, it was when I was younger, we could never I was always a lefty when I was really young, and then I started swinging righty and I had power in my right hand. I'm a right, I throw right-handed. But then I kind of faded away from the switch hitting and just stayed at left hand and threw righty.
So your secondary pitch is what?
Change up and a slider.
Okay, and which one is your go-to pitch, the change up or the slider?
Slider is definitely more effective. It's got good velocity and good run on it. Okay. So it's definitely effective, especially on left-handers because they don't see it coming. You think as a left-handed batter with the right-hand pitcher, you're not going to see the slider, but I'll run it inside on the back door and.
How about
effective?
And did your father get involved in coaching you as far as?
He was my coach when I was younger. Until I would say 15, 16, he was definitely avid. He was all about it. Had notes on our practices and stuff.
You have any brothers?
Yeah, I have a younger brother, Jason. He's 17. He's a senior at Kings Park High School.
How about eye movement? Did you learn to pitch from throw low pitches, move their eye?
No, see, I never learned that. I always learned especially when I was younger, it's you want to keep everything in one direction because I used to fall off to the left side of the mound.
Right.
So I was always told as a freight train, stay forward with home plate, and if you want to pin a spot, depending on I've heard different mentalities for different ways to hit spots, but one guy told me change your feet on the side of the rubber, but that that's giving it away. When you get older, that doesn't work.
No, it doesn't work as you get older because they know where you're going with a pitch, or you're kind of letting them know where.
Every pitch almost look the same coming out.
What if you throw a low fastball, knee level?
Yeah.
A batter's up, he takes a look at it. Your secondary pitch, if you throw a fastball again, do you change the batter's eye level and come up top?
No, see, I work in, out, up, down. That's how I look at it. It's like if I throw it inside, but here's the thing, he swings and misses at a inside fastball, right hand batter, right? I'll come back with it again because he just swung and missed. You know, I'm taking that risk, but if he just swung and missed and it blew it right past him, why would I change it up? Because he might sit there on the slider and pinch, like hit it.
Hold on 1 second. Rob, do you got any videos you could pull up for him?
Yep. Pull up right
And while he pulls it up, you were saying before we came on, the new 95 is 90.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Well, the new 90 is 95.
Yeah,
So
that,
basically, you know, when you were like, I'd say probably till 2010. Before then, you know, 90 miles an hour was like, that's your ticket to go pro.
Right.
Now it's like, you know, guys were throwing 85 in college. Now you see guys in college like Jack Leiter on Vanderbilt. He's throwing 99. You know, he's a short kid, big legs, and, you know, first-round draft pick with a lot of money.
But if you don't move a fastball and it's flat, and there's a lot of great ball players I've seen, when they get into the next level, if their ball's flat, and they, you know, some pitchers just got no movement on their ball. No. You could throw 100, guys will catch it.
Yeah.
But when you have a rising fastball, a ball that cuts, you know, and then you throw in a good changeup or a good slider, a good cutter, or any other secondary and third pitch, then you're going to go somewhere in.
That's what he was saying before you came in.
Yeah.
You were saying basically the same thing before you came in.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing is, like, I look at it as, like, you know, everyone looks to go, you know, I'm saying, okay, here's my next step. I'm going to college. You want to get to college, right? Now when you get in college, your next step is you want to go pro.
Right.
But, you know, there's a lot of room between the minor leagues and the major leagues. So you got to look at it as like, yeah, you want to go pro, but how are you going to effectively be in the pros? That's how I look at it. It's like, I'm not looking I want to get to the pros, but I want to look how I'm going to be effective.
Well, when I was growing up, I had some pitchers. Chris Mangan was one of the guys who went to Malloy. Kevin Jones, another pitcher. Chris Mangan was an unbelievable pitcher. Peter Grimm played for Malloy. These guys all played for Malloy, the guys that grew up with me. Peter's uncle played Anton Grimm for the Yankees first base. But Chris had a lot of movement on his balls, but he ended up getting hurt. I believe it was his shoulder, it might have been the elbow, it might have been Tommy John. And it ended his career. Do you take care of your arm?
Oh, yeah, you have to. Since I've been young, like my dad's always taught me, you know, ice after you throw, watch the pitch count. Because, you know, I'll tell you something funny is 8th grade, my first outing, right? My coaches, you know, middle school coaches, they're not strict. They don't know anything about baseball. The guy never even played baseball. He was like a soccer coach or something like that, played soccer, whatever. I went out for the first game. I threw like 100 pitches. Now, you know, 13, 12 years old, and I partially tore my UCL. I was out for that whole season, and then I recovered well, came back from it, and knock on wood, I've never had an arm injury since.
Sue him for abuse.
Yeah.
Or bullying. You bullied the kid. You made him throw 100 pitches.
But you know what the difference is?
I threw like a one-hitter, and it was like the first win we had against Colmac in like the history.
Colmac a good team.
Good, fuck
they
him.
are.
And they came back and fucked him up.
But I'm going to tell you something. When we were kids, Chris Mangan and guys that were great pitchers, we weren't told about the pitch counts back then. They didn't understand it.
No.
So, and you know, guys didn't throw, like back then there was no such thing as the cutter. You know, you had movement on balls and they'd work a curveball, sinker, and different pitches. But the cutter was developed later on. But guys like Chris that can really, you know, he can chuck. He would throw maybe, I don't know how many pitches he would, if he was here, he would tell us 200 maybe.
Yeah, look,
he didn't even count.
Nolan Ryan used to say through 200, 300 pitches.
Yeah.
Ryan.
And we played in several leagues.
Yeah.
So you would play on one team, then you go play on a travel, you'd pitch on a Tuesday, Thursday on one team, then you go play on a travel league on Thursday and he'd pitch again. Not knowing, because when you're young, when you're guys, you're young, you don't know any better and you go forever, but it's after 3 and 4 and 5 years and 6 years depending, and you beat that arm up. Stress.
Why are these guys seem like they're tearing their arms though more? They're just throwing harder nowadays, and it's
well. Here's the thing: is like, you know, is younger guys. You see kids in high school who are throwing 95, 100. One of the kids in the draft of this year throwing 100 miles an hour at high school. You know, your body's not fully developed. Yeah. You know, you're growing fast, and you 100 miles an hour of an arm is putting a lot of strain.
Because you have those ligaments that aren't really developed and stretching and tightening, and if you're overworking that arm, think about a rubber band that you keep. It's going to eventually snap. And that's exactly what's happened to a young guy's arm. Or, you know, as you get older, if you don't watch your pitch counts, because you're tightening and tightening. It's like doing curls every day, say, in the gym. Yeah. Somebody does curls 6 days a week. What do you think is going to happen?
Sure.
Yeah. So
I'll tell you what, those kids in that Little League World Series, man, they're throwing 75, 80 miles an hour, 13 years old.
Everyone's getting better. That's just how it is. The game is getting better and better and more fast-paced. Like, you know, the game, I feel like baseball is definitely money involved, a lot of money involved. It's not as much like the fan base in the game as it was in the 80s and 90s. You know, you look at the game in the 80s and 90s, I feel like it was so much more fan-based and more into the baseball aspect of it more than it is money. You know, that's how I feel baseball is now. But it's just like guys are just getting so much better at such a young age. It's like they're more prone to injury, and they're more prone to just never coming back from that injury.
I always wondered. I wanted to ask you too, but you're here now and you're a pitcher. How you adjust going up against a right-handed batter or a left-handed batter, or just in general. Like if you're going up against a left-handed pitcher and a right-handed pitcher. So, like for you pitch righty, okay, and you bat
lefty.
So now, how would you pitch against him, and how would you bat?
He told me earlier before we were on camera, his ball to a lefty breaks to the edge of the plate on the outside. It's a natural movement. For me, I don't like it because I like an inside pitch. I hog the plate. I used to get hit a lot because I hog the plate. I like an inside pitch. So I would hate batting against him just because his natural fastball tails outside. He'll notice if he's pitching against me because he's an experienced pitcher. He'll notice I don't like it. He's going to notice the way I swing the bat towards that outside pitch. He's going to see me try to adjust.
He's going to see your fist.
Yeah, he's going to. And so if he pitches that way smart to me and keeps his ball on the outside corner and he has a breaking ball that dips outside, it's going to be very difficult for me to hit him because I'm not comfortable there. There's ball players that are comfortable no matter where you pitch that ball on the plate. They just go with the pitch. I was kind of a pull hitter. So a guy like him, I'd ground out a lot to the right side of the field, or I'd pop up.
To the left side.
Yeah, but when you're so close,
you didn't think I knew baseball.
There he goes.
Yeah.
When you're so close to the plate like that, right? The way you were standing, and he throws an inside pitch, isn't that's going to hit this part of the bat? You're not going to get this.
Right?
If you get around quick. You got a fast bat and you open up your hips quick. I love the inside pitch, and that's where your power was for me. I don't know other guys. I would open up quickly, and the problem with open up quickly is, look, I'm open up here, so I'm open. Now the ball's outside. All I got is my arms. I don't have my hips, shoulders going to hit a ball, so you're not really hitting it with your full. Your hips is where your power comes in, and your bat speed.
So you're using your hips then to adjust to an inside pitch if he were
right. I'd open up.
You're so fucking close.
Yeah, and I'd open up immediately.
Yeah, but that's why today players like Judge and those guys, they have so much outside power. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, Judge has a lot of power when he hits the ball. The problem is he strikes out a lot.
Missing the ball doesn't really go over well, no matter how powerful you are.
I can't like him. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. If I would have known that, I wouldn't have had you on.
Yeah, I'm a Mets. That's all right. Listen, you're all right with me. You're all right with me. You're all right. At least he's not a phoney.
Well, listen.
At least he's not a phony.
Right?
That's right.
Listen, I'll tell you about the Mets. Cleon Jones.
Yeah.
Say hey,
Tommy
Willie
Agee.
Mays, Tommy Agee, Buddy Harrelson.
You're waking up, Rob.
Ray Charles. Don Clendenin.
Grody. Jerry Koosman. Tom Seaver.
Matt Lack. Come on.
Matt Lack. Come on. Listen.
I'm going to take a wild guess he was just on wide view right now.
Yeah. Can you do me a favor while we go?
Ron Swoboda.
Ron Swoboda's great.
What were you going to say, Rob? Let Rob say.
No, I was going to say out of everybody that knows me, I'm Philly through and through with everything. Every.
So he loves Dykstra. He loves Lenny Dykstra.
No.
Dykstra's out of his mind. He's crazy.
He's drunk.
He's crazy.
It's Philly for everything except for baseball.
Hey, Dykstra was a great ball player, but he had a bad drinking problem.
Did you ever see Did you see the new Mets documentary where Dykstra was talking? He's crazy.
He's great.
He's crazy.
He's great.
Hold on. What were we finished saying?
No, just saying every team's Philly except for baseball. Because growing up, we used to get the New York stations and the Philly stations, and I saw Mr. Met.
Oh, really?
As a kid, I'm a fucking Mets fan.
That's right.
So I would go to Eagles games wearing an Eagles jersey and a Mets hat.
Oh, shit.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Poor kid.
I would fight right
that
there.
poor kid. He had some.
Mike Piazza, the year of Mike Piazza.
Oh, Mike Piazza. Listen,
yeah.
you know Mike Piazza was Tommy Lasorda's
nephew.
Yeah.
And he was a guy that couldn't play, couldn't start, and everything. One of the greatest ball players ever. Really. So that'll tell you about talent. You could always come back.
That's right.
I remember the rivalries with the Braves. Remember John Rocker? How they were
Rocker. Yeah.
That Armando Benitez. I used to like Armando Benitez. Loved him.
He ruined the Mets.
Who is the killer pitcher for the Braves?
Billy Wagner.
Glavine.
I'm thinking
Maddox.
Glavine. That's what I'm thinking. Maddox. See, back then to me, baseball was fun.
Yeah.
Now, like the last 3 years, I watch it, and to me, it's just
that's what I'm talking about.
boring.
The fan base and I don't know, the intensity of the game is just not what it was.
Well, but I'm gonna tell you
Well, they started kneeling.
You know what?
They started kneeling.
Not that.
Got fucking slower.
No. It ain't any of those reasons.
For me, I'm just saying. For me, it seemed fucking slower. And I didn't know it could get any fucking slower.
It ain't any of those reasons. I'm gonna tell you why.
Go ahead.
And you guys that are a little older, and you should say it. You know this. When you were a Met fan or a Yankee fan, you see how I named the whole Met team back then?
Yeah.
Okay, that was your team.
That's right.
Now they trade like crazy. Nobody's on stays in a team. It kills.
That's what I said with the money.
Yeah, the money kills the game because you don't have your team anymore. It doesn't mean anything to anybody to put on a hat.
That's why
trade
I
next
would
week.
never root for the Yankees.
But
They
dude,
buy
thank
fucking
you.
talent
Thank you.
every year.
You can't say that,
Ever.
though. The Mets
I would
don't.
never root for the
Agreed.
Yankees.
The Mets are doing
Now,
that now.
Hold on.
Now, I like baseball, so I enjoy talent. So I root for the Yankees because of the talent. I want to see them perform. But I would never root for them as a team because for me, you just spent $386 million on another talent. Oh, I'm really fucking proud of you.
But the other thing with the youth nowadays, and not my kids, because I taught them not like that. Oh, people like players. I really don't like teams.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Well, that's all this homogenization of the world.
Or I'm a Mets fan, and I'm going to cheer for the Yankees in the World Series. Yeah. Fuck no, they're going to lose.
Yeah.
No,
I'm with you on that.
I don't do that. I'll cheer for the Yankees.
You know what the problem is? You see what LeBron did and Wade. Everybody knows I hate LeBron.
Yeah, I hate
He did what Wade when he couldn't win with Cleveland. He went out and he bought his own, got his guys together. They made deals. This ain't sports.
No.
That's like going to the schoolyard and you pick the best 5 guys to play with you, and you play. That's like a bullying bit of a thing. It lost the integrity of all these sports. So I think that's the reason why
I agree.
sports aren't the same as it used to be as far as the following.
Like I watch a lot of basketball. You like basketball? You're tall as fuck. I think. Well, you want baseball.
I'm baseball.
You got more of a baseball.
Baseball.
You know who I like, right?
Yeah, I know.
Who do I like? Cantus.
Right, you love Cantus.
Because he hates China and he's against communism. I love Cantus. Another shout out to
point,
Cantus.
though, if you go back, Ewing, he never left New York.
I like Ewing. I was a Ewing
Sparks
fan.
never left New York.
No, because it was a different
That's
era.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Sparks,
Jordan,
Ewing.
you can't count Washington Wizards with Jordan.
Listen,
Jordan was
Jerry
gold.
Lucas.
Jerry Lucas, Earl the Pearl Monroe, Frazier.
Kobe Bryant. Fucking Kobe Bryant. When they were 16 and 80, he still played every fucking
I'll tell you
game.
what, though, I like Shaq. Shaq's got his head on.
Shaq's good.
I talk well
He
about
don't
Shaq
work
all the
hard,
time.
though. He don't
Shaq's
work
a
hard.
He's got
guy.
his head almost straight. That's what I could say.
Now he does. He's lazy
Shaq
fuck.
is an example to every kid out there. He's a gentleman.
Yep.
He's a businessman.
He works harder now than he did during the NBA.
He's a funny
Yeah,
bat.
no, that's right.
That's a fact.
That's true.
If he would have worked out hard, Kobe Bryant said it himself. If he would have taken basketball seriously, he would have been the best player that ever lived. Kobe Bryant said it himself on his retirement.
Well, Kobe was great.
Yeah.
And Kobe's another
And
gentleman.
never left the Lakers. Even when they were 16 and fucking 80, he still played 40 fucking minutes and scored all the points.
If I was LeBron James, I got to go
Can't
back.
win it all.
He should watch videos of these guys.
Yeah.
And Charles Barkley, everybody knows I love the guy.
Walt Frazier.
He should watch all these guys and take a lesson in personality.
Yep.
Or
Dave
low.
the Busher from the corner. Dave the Busher from the corner.
Yeah.
LeBron James doesn't know anything about real life. He just sits there behind his money.
He's
and
a
that's
phony.
It. He's an asshole.
Listen,
I just
he's a
wanna know what
house
happened
mouse
to
for
him.
China. He's a talking part. He gets paid for them to be their spokesman, and he
That's
does it like a bitch.
He's a
That's
gifted
it.
genetic monster.
Yeah, he does like a
yeah.
bitch.
There's no
Listen,
question.
he's a fucking bitch.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can't say nothing else about the guy. He's a crybaby.
He cries
Did you
over
see him
everything.
cry when the fans were bothering him to throw out the girl and the guy? And the kid did the smartest thing, or the girl did. She was giving him the wah, the crying, because I never seen listen, I don't want to get off the subject.
yeah,
but
no.
do me a
Ben,
favor. Do me a favor.
There we go.
Let me ask Benson.
Rob, while you ask him, go to his
God, fuck
pitch.
it.
Go to his. No, you ask him. Just go to his pitch. I want to see.
Now, don't say what we're looking at.
That's a fastball, right?
No,
change up.
that wasn't a fastball.
What do you think?
Play
What
it
do you
again.
do? That change up at 72, something like that.
No, it's probably my changeup's like 81, 82, 83.
Now, how did you know that was a changeup? Teach me how you knew that was a changeup.
Well, now I'm going to show you. Now go to his fastball if you can.
Do we have a fastball?
That's a slider.
I see that. That's a nice throw.
Okay. Do you got anything with a fastball?
That's a bite. That's a bite.
No, that's another slider actually.
That was bite, yeah.
Slider.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
No, I don't.
No, it's a curveball.
Yeah. No, that was a slider.
Yeah. I said.
That's all them. There's 3.
We don't have a fastball.
All right. What I wanted to show was his motion. I wanted to catch to
All right,
see
pause,
it.
pause. Okay, when he winds up, pause.
Come back. Hold on. I'm
Yep.
gonna back it up. Right there.
All right, tell him when to stop, John.
Go ahead. Keep going.
I'll back it up right there. Hold on.
The way he hides the ball. You're talking about the way he hides it?
Yeah. Stop it there.
See, this
A little.
is
Can you get a little further when he steps?
Yep.
Okay. Right there. If you see how he's hiding the ball first off,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't. You don't see the ball behind.
you don't see the ball number one.
Okay.
He's got a long leg, right where he steps.
Okay.
He's back. His body's really, he's in a great position. The arm, you still don't see the ball. Keep coming right there is the first peek at it. Now, that motion, and he's got a good, I wanted to show his fastball, because if he throws the same way as fastball, it's going to be very difficult to see when that ball's leaving his hand. He's throwing a changeup.
Yeah.
So as a batter, you're looking.
The ball had almost no rotation on it.
Low. I mean that's a right-hand batter. But
and he had a nice rotation on the ball, actually.
Very little on a changeup. You get very little rotation.
Watch it. Yeah, but watch. Bring it back.
I just saw it. I had no rotation.
Comes in on a righty.
Yes.
I mean, he had it on slow-mo. That's why I fucking saw. He had no rotation.
No, I didn't do slow.
Going fast or slow?
Slow.
Slow.
I gotta do it like this.
Yeah, I'm a fucking baseball maven here. What are you? Yeah, we coming in.
He's got movement. He ain't gonna have it like on a fastball, but he's got rotation on the changeup.
Wow.
You're not gonna know. Listen, it's not gonna ride flat. If it rides flat, you're gonna recognize it as a changeup.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
What's the toughest pitch? What's the toughest pitch to throw? I mean, I'm never a baseball player.
Well, because he has several pitches, and that's the difference. If he's a smart pitcher and his motion and his rotation, you can't pick it up.
Yeah, what's the toughest pitch for you to throw? What's your toughest pitch?
To hit or to throw?
For you to throw.
I mean, honestly, I don't have like it. I just try
You're very
to perfect
comfortable.
every one. I'm comfortable in every pitch that I throw.
Some guys struggle with certain.
Well, here's the
pitches.
thing: is like some guys will try to throw 4 or 5 pitches, but 2 of those 4 or 5 pitches they don't know how to throw. They don't know how to throw. So I'd rather have 3 effective pitches than
Do you ever play around with a cutter? You ever try to develop one?
When I was younger.
Okay.
When I was younger, yeah.
What about the one pitch I always wondered about was Mike Musina was the man with it, the knuckleball.
I used to throw one.
How the fuck
That's very
that thing
difficult
comes
to get.
in like crazy.
See, when I was younger, I used to mess around with a knuckleball. I somehow kind of perfected it.
How do you hold it?
Hold it. I put my 2 fingers on the seams and then tuck the thumb under, and you almost gotta push it. But
Nico pitched till he was like 50-something with the knuckleball.
But see, here's the thing: is like to be an effective knuckleball pitcher, I feel like you have to throw it hard.
Yeah.
You have to throw it hard.
You have to throw it hard.
The harder you throw that thing, the more
it moves.
There was one guy that threw a knuckleball when we were kids, and he was a great football player, and he became a coach up in Pennsylvania. Marty Schatzler grew up with us, and he could throw a knuckleball. He was the only guy I knew that, growing up with us. I didn't remember anybody else throwing a knuckleball.
I just remember Mike Musina, his knuckleball.
Yeah.
R.A. Dickey.
R.A. Dickey. Yep, R.A. Dickey.
Yeah, Dickey threw it too.
Dickey, yeah. So did you high school ball? Where'd you play that?
Kings Park on Long Island.
Kings Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any other videos where you're throwing a fastball?
Yeah, I got them on my phone.
You can
send it to me.
Can you send it to you?
Send it to me.
Yeah.
So while he's looking for that, so and here's so that people know, me and Ben started talking. I started watching his career. I was watching him come up.
Well, when did you start playing baseball?
Oh, I played with kids
because you're very educated in it. So what? Like, how old were you when you started playing?
3 years old.
3. Gotcha.
3 years old. My father had a bat in my hand. He had me boxing. He had me holding a ball, and he had us trying to throw a ball and working out. Kind of what he said. As a young kid, you start developing little techniques as a kid, and then you develop habits at 5 and 6. So when we first started, me and my brother's a year older than me, we played what they call the farm team in Rich Haven. And kids at 5 years old don't even know how to run around the bases, most of them. We are so far advanced as 5 years old because me, my brother, Kevin Jones, his brother Timmy Jones.
So young, you're starting out.
We're all super athletes as little kids. It's not normal. This is all we did. Brian, different guys later on in life. Brian McGovern, these guys are all good athletes. John Hughes, he was a lefty pitcher for Malloy, then later on played for our travel team. These guys were all great athletes. But the reason I think we all were way ahead of these other kids is because of our development since we're babies. As you get older, things change. You develop, and then all of a sudden you're going to stop your level of your capacity of how good you're going to get.
I said that earlier.
And everybody catches up.
Yeah.
And you hit the wall.
Is, like there's a lot of kids that parents will talk about in Little League that look at this one, they're that good, and then they come to high school, they're nothing.
They stop.
Some of them aren't even playing anymore.
Well, in my case, we're all high school were superstars. I become the captain. Yeah, I'm a superstar in high school.
Right.
In college, when I get there, I suck. You know.
Meanwhile, you just were a star last week.
Did you, Mike?
Yeah.
Did you play, Mike? Did you play
I
baseball?
played up until 13, and the Spanish guys were just too goddamn good.
What position did you play, Mike?
I played
You're big.
every position. No, I was a pitcher, and I played shortstop, and yeah, so yeah.
I'll tell you what, he can hit a fucking golf ball like I've never seen.
I love golf.
Yeah.
This fucking guy, you know, when you go to a driving range, they tame the ball, so that you know you can't hit him as far.
Yeah, exactly.
He fucking hit it out of.
Yeah, well,
We had just done
I'm
an interview with the
I'm an athletic. I got a gut now.
Did you play with Adam Sandler?
Me and Adam, Adam Sandler carried my bag.
Did Adam wear a shirt like this?
The ball, yeah. Oh, what was that? What are you wearing?
With the hockey stick butter.
That doesn't mean nothing. But
Wait. Let me finish it.
Let's
Let me finish it.
What is?
Oh, that's the shirt I got you. You're wearing the shirt I got you today.
I wore my present.
John.
Beals Outlet.
I just have one real
Bell's
question.
SpongeBob.
But why didn't you wear that when you were walking down the street like you own them?
What street you talking
From
about?
the Today Show.
I wear this anyway. I'm very secure with myself.
Well, they said you walk down the street like you own them. You gotta wear the SpongeBob.
I walk this. Listen, I may look stupid, but the reason why I'm wearing this, when you're in Delray Beach, every girl stops you wearing this.
That's right. You don't need a puppy. You don't need a puppy. You just wear that shit.
There you go. Look, you heard it here first.
Taking tips.
Yeah.
SpongeBob is the panty
Listen,
dropper.
There you go.
when I was younger, I had a little Maltese. I walked around. Then as I got a little older, I had a son, and I'd bring him, and they would ask for the numbers. And now I get SpongeBob and Mike.
I don't charge though. I don't
Tell the
charge.
story with the dog quick, and then we'll see his fastball, because that was pretty funny.
Well, when I was in an elevator, and I had a little white dog, and this girl's in the
Where were you?
elevator.
Brazil, Canada?
Brazil.
Okay.
And
Which
I
one?
I don't know.
If we try to guess, we'll be here all fucking day.
I had a dog, Nieve, which means snow. It was a little white dog. And so when I was growing up, we had, as kids, we got a little older, we had Maltese. They're cute. So I'm in the elevator, and a lady says to her daughter, in Portuguese, she doesn't know I speak Portuguese, look at this fucking idiot. Well, he's all muscled out, this and that, and he's walking around with a little bitch dog. So I kicked the daughter in the leg because she didn't know I was hanging out with the daughter. And, later on, the mother finds out we're together, and I says to the mother in Portuguese, she goes, oh, my God, I'm embarrassed. I didn't know you speak Portuguese. I said, listen, the reason why I don't walk around with a Doberman or a pit bull is girls aren't going to talk to me. What do you think I'm banging your daughter for?
Mike, you have dogs? Are you a dog guy?
I have a dog story. No, I got attacked by many dogs. Okay?
As a cop?
You sure that ain't girls?
Yeah, no, I got attacked. I wish the girls would. No, the dog. I got attacked by a dog. I was a paper route guy. First, no one. So you're from Long Island.
Yeah,
you're not. You know Long Island pretty
Yeah.
good. Well, back in the day before you were born, they had a paper called the Long Island Press.
Of course.
Okay, the Long Island Press was good for one thing.
Getting bit by a dog?
Rolling it up and beating your dog with it, because you're taught don't ever hit a dog with the paper. With your hand, you pat the dog on the ass or the snout with the Long Island Press. That's what it was for. I delivered the Long Island Press to this guy's house for 4 years. He's got an attacked German Shepherd. So what do you think's been going on for 4 years? I dropped the paper off. They beat the fucking attack dog with my paper. So one day, I go to collect. Right? And every day I don't want to go collect at this house, right? But I'm got to get that dollar.
Why don't you want to go collect at that house?
It's $1.25 for because they were good pay though.
So now did
they
you ride your
paid,
bike?
They doubled. The paper was $1.25 and they gave me $1.25 tip. Okay.
Yeah, because they had a dog that was going to rip
So
your ass
for
off.
$1.25, I'll do just about anything.
I'm going to beat your story, but go ahead.
Yeah. So this fucking dog finally he gets me. What happens is the old lady opens the door, he comes out between her legs. Right out between her. I know he's coming. And I gotta stand there and wait for my money. For $2.50, right? And I'm fucking gonna get it. I know one day. And I'm praying every day. I run, I close the door, I leave. So he comes out, gets between the legs, and he comes. And now I'm 16 years old. I shouldn't even be doing the fucking paper route. But, I liked the money. I didn't have a job yet, and I had a license. So I needed gas money, so I kept my paper route. The fucking dog attacks me. He's chewing me up. I just don't joke. This is a fucking attack dog chewing me. Mauls my face. You see how pretty I am? Mauls my eyes. I think I'm blind. The dog's chewing on my legs. He's eating me up, trying to eat me. And then finally, they pull the dog off. The neighbor's my father's friend from the fire department, Mr. Murphy. He throws me in his car, drives me home. My father he's probably in the middle of cementing a fucking patio like he always is or some shit. Now he's got to stop what he's doing, drive me to the emergency room, get my eyes sewed back in, okay? And ever since then, I've been getting attacked by fucking dogs. Little ones! Big ones! They all bite me.
Before the age of lawsuits, that would have been a big lawsuit. Now.
Oh, I got big lawsuits. I got $1,200. You know what you get for that today? $1 million. I got $1,200. I had to give a third to the lawyer.
So you got screwed by a bit dog, and you got fucked on life.
And then since then it's been downhill. But I did put the dog. I'll tell you.
You found crack.
I'll tell you one. Real quick, I'll try to make I have the little hot dogs. You know, my girl, Sue, that I live with, my ex, she's my friend now. She has these 4 hot dogs, right? It's 4 of them. They don't come in ones, they come in 4s. Right? Like a whole pack. You know, a whole pack of dogs. I got to keep these dogs alive when she goes away. I'm trying to make it quick. So she leaves me with these dogs, but my job is to keep them alive. So when she gets home, she can have her puppies. This fucking dog don't eat because she's mad. The dog's mad because mommy's not home, and he don't eat. 5 days he hasn't eaten a goddamn thing. So I take him. He's having seizures because after one day they don't want to eat no more. Because they like you know, if you don't eat one day, then forget it. After that, you're good. You don't have to eat for a week. So I take the dog and I put him in the fucking pool because I want to monitor his body temperature. I don't know, but it's not nice out yet. It's June, so the pool's cold. I don't want to go in the pool, but the dog's not coming out. So I go reach over the side to get the dog, and he sees me, and he fucking goes under. Down to the bottom of the pool, turns upside down, starts blowing bubbles out of his nose. Okay, I'll try to cut this short.
No,
he does this 3 times.
I mean, he's crazy.
The dog does this, tries suicide. The suicide dog. Okay, listen, you can't make this story up. The dog's trying to commit suicide on my watch. Right?
And you're supposed to be keeping
my
them alive for the
responsibility
girl.
is to get that dog to the door when she can pop behind when she walks in the door. No good. So now I got to get ready to go in the pool. It's cold. I don't want to go in the pool. I reach over, finally he lets me grab him. I take him out. What does the dog do when I get him out of the pool? And I got no shirt on, because why? Because I'm getting ready to go in. What do you think the dog does? That hasn't eaten in 5 days. I cooked steak.
He shits on you.
Bites you.
He shits right on my chest.
I said it.
He shits right on my fucking chest. And you know what I did?
He might have thought you were into it.
You know what I did? I hugged that dog and I fucking rubbed that shit all over myself. I was so happy he was alive. So that's my dog fucking story.
Wow. All right, listen. I can't.
I'm going to tell it on
You
Naughty
can't
Lang.
beat that.
I was just going to talk about the newspapers. Timmy Jones had a newspaper route. That's all I was going to say. He gave it to me. It was a Leader Observer. Do you remember that paper?
Yes.
It was 15 cents.
Yes, I said it.
I was like 8 years old, 10 years old. So Timmy goes, you want to take my route? I've got a bigger route. I said, yeah, I'll do the route. And I used to go to a woman's house because he's talking about there were such good payers, the other people with the dog. And she was a drinker.
Oh, yeah.
So she would pay me every
They forget.
Yes.
So you double charge
She
her.
used to give me, no, I swear to God, I would tell her, listen, you owe me $1.75, and she's drunk, and she's like, here. And she'd hand me a $5. You know,
I used to rob.
that was
I had
big money.
I had one that did that.
Hey, when we were kids, that was big money. I just said, listen, I only got to do 2 houses. Hold this other guy. Both drinkers, they used to give me, I was good.
I had one that double paid me every week. She thought it was paid twice a week.
Timmy Jones, you remember that? I wonder if Timmy remembers that.
Yeah, this one paid me twice a week. She thought it was payday on Wednesday and Fridays.
All right.
Paid me twice
Listen,
a week.
We forgot. We're here with Ben's our
Oh,
guest.
I'm sorry.
We got to go back to his fastball. Sorry,
Yeah,
Ben.
yeah.
All right,
We're
so
telling you
Blurry-
dog stories. You're going to hate us after you leave here.
Blurry video.
Yeah.
These 3
Oh, we got a fastball.
3.
Okay. Ooh.
So that's a fastball. Now,
Okay.
watch where this pitch is and tell me what you think ball or strike. This umpire was killing me this day. Killing me.
South Florida.
Same spot, right?
Yeah.
Now, he thought it was a strike. He thought
He was getting called out.
He thought he was getting rung up. Now here I'm coming back with another fastball. He hasn't touched a fastball yet.
Pause that,
Right.
Pause that
As long
real
as he's
quick.
not touching it, you're
We're
going
going
to
to come back with another one.
Right.
Now, when you get that call, now you know that was a strike, right?
Correct.
You could see it, especially as a pitcher.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
when
I'm
you're
gonna
walking
tell-
back to the mound.
Well, I'm going
did
to tell you what
get-
the mistake is.
Can I ask him a question?
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you what the mistake is. Then I ask him the question. I'm going to tell you what the mistake is. Go ahead. Ask him.
Because you want to do one at a time, so it's not like all.
No. I'm
know
going
what I
to.
mean?
Yeah, I want you to ask him the question.
No, I was just saying, when you go back to the mound, are you frustrated, and does it take you out of your zone?
That's the thing is, like, to be a good pitcher is you can't get frustrated over stuff like that. You can't, because people who get frustrated over stuff like that is going to eat them up. And they're going to start throwing. You're going to start throwing. You're going to miss spots. You're going to start getting on the umpire's bad. You don't want to be on his bad side.
But I'm going to show you why now.
That's what will make
now
it
I'm going to
great.
show you why as a coach or as an ex-ball player or whatever. Can you bring it back to that other pitch, Rob?
Yep.
See, that's what's going to make it great.
But I'm going to show you.
You don't let that bother you.
No, but I'm going to show you why it happened.
That was one ball.
First off, the catcher,
Lifted up.
yes.
Yep.
He doesn't frame the pitch.
Yeah.
And, it's not his fault. He's a young guy, and he doesn't hold it.
Yeah.
He's got to freeze that pitch for the umpire and let him know that's a strike.
Of course.
You got a fucking good eye,
He brought
John.
it back down. He
Damn.
came up and
You saw that too?
the slight come down.
Yeah, because the pitcher was the
It's too
catcher
much-
was holding it over.
See, if
Yeah.
you look where it was. See, if you look.
Well,
where the ball comes in-
you're gonna get it. You're gonna get a shoulder edge on the
But he should
corner.
catch it like this.
But
not
listen,
like that.
yes, he's not framing the pitch. He's not.
It like this,
Here's the
not
first.
like that, because then it.
But you know what? Sometimes it happens.
Yeah, but that's a better position he's in. See it?
Listen, even if that umpire is killing you that day, the catcher, you don't want the catcher to start arguing with the ump because then he's not going to give you the calls. Yeah. But you want him to freeze it and hold it.
Yeah, of course.
That's like saying to the umpire, it's a fucking strike without saying it.
Right. Exactly.
So you can get the next call.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's not freezing and he's moving and he's bringing that pitch down. You want him to know here, it hit the corner.
It's right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same pitches.
That's where it belongs. In other words, this is where it belongs.
You two got a hell of an eye to see that.
Yeah.
Because now that I see it, not knowing shit, I see the catcher has his mitt as if it's going to be a ball.
Right.
So now the
Like
umpire's
this, instead of
behind
like
him.
this.
Yeah.
He should have framed it like that.
And a slight body movement of the catcher also. It's
Yeah,
still,
you want to keep your body still.
you want to
That
keep
was a
going
good
still.
catch. I'm impressed, Rob.
And then here's the
There's a
third
punch-out
pitch.
pitch.
Third pitch.
Yep.
You're going to punch him out here.
Same spot.
I'm
I
going
knew
to
he
tell
wasn't
you,
hitting the outside
same
corner.
spot, but and you got a good
No,
pop
you
on
change the
that.
eye level, though.
And I'm going to tell you something else.
catcher was positioned.
Watch the third pitch.
Change the eye level.
And his gloves.
You don't even see his glove.
Yeah.
Good call.
and-
That was a
and-
good
and-
fucking call.
So he frames this a
He
little
changed the
better
eye
for
level.
you, the
He
catcher.
changed the eye level.
Yes.
Change the eye level. See that? Boom.
But you got a good zipper. You hear that,
You have to
Mitt?
do. You got to bring it up. You got to work
that's how
down,
you're
in and out.
supposed
Yep.
And you hear that mitt popping, so you're throwing some heat there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least trying,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a lot of crooked umpires? Even in, maybe you shouldn't answer that.
Nah, it is not in
No.
those
No.
leagues. You might have a guy
You
that
gotta understand it's a human.
Yeah.
There might be a call like, for example, Justin Verlander, his perfect game that got blown. I mean,
Oh yeah.
it was a big deal, and an umpire was really upset over it.
Yeah.
At the same time, you are a human being.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're gonna miss calls. You're gonna make calls. It's just
they're going to miss some calls,
nature.
but it's also on the catches to frame a pitch.
course.
If I'm
Of course.
you don't want to, you got to have a good rapport with your catches. I don't know how often you pitched with them and played with them, and so you don't want to. You got to, as a pitcher, I would call the catcher over and tell him, listen, it ain't your fault, so he doesn't. But hold that pitch, frame it better for me, because we're not getting the right calls. Frame those calls.
That's right.
Frame those pitches.
Yeah, you guys pointed that out really, really, really well. Because the next pitch, to me, it looked the same from you,
Yeah.
but you didn't see that catcher's mitt at
See,
all.
Yeah.
It's like with,
Wow. I never knew that. All those years.
with framing.
Best thing
and,
with baseball.
The relationship between a pitcher and catcher is key. You have to have a good relationship, and you have to have your catcher know how you throw and what spots to set up on. I mean, yeah, he's going to be calling the spots, but you don't want to sit there on the mound and go shaking, shaking, shaking. You don't want to shake. You want him to know where you're going to set up and what count. So in order to, you want to create that bond. So it's like, okay, 2 strikes, left-hand batter, you want to know where to set up. If I'm going fastball out, fastball in, you want to know. So it's like, okay, maybe I have 1 shake here and there, but you want like that.
Have you ever had that issue where you just couldn't stand your catcher and he couldn't stand you, or vice versa, and now you got to play with him?
I couldn't say, a bad relationship, but I've had catchers in the past who have weaker arms. And, when you're watching something, when you watch a catcher throw down, everyone's watching that catcher when he throws down. When balls come down, he throws it down to second base. You see him with a McDonald's arc and a lollipop. They're going to run on you all day.
Well, here's the thing.
They're running all day.
You're going to hear, again, I don't know how much baseball you play. You're going to hear.
I just want. I never
Okay, they're going to hear they stole second base on the pitcher.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they stole second base on the catcher. And the pitcher's got to take the heat for the catcher because first the catcher ain't coming out of the hole fast enough. He's not. He's throwing like
His pop
he's
isn't a
throwing a
1.8,
lollipop.
He
doesn't have a quick. Mitt doesn't have a quick arm. It's a lot of things.
There's a lot of
Factors.
factors that
So but he's.
I always blame the pitcher when I lost.
Well, everybody does.
When I would take the Yankees or whoever I would take, I'd always blame the pitcher when there was a stolen base. But now that now when you say it different.
Well, that's when you're at that pro level, you could look at it as like, okay, it's either the pitcher's fault because he took too long to get to home plate, or it was the catcher's fault because he took too long to get to second.
Well,
base.
we just don't have the arm.
You know,
We just don't have the arm.
That's it. You know,
when you got a lot of pitchers got a big high kick, right? When there's a man on base, he knows.
Yeah.
You come to settle in a stretch, and it's a short step instead.
They call it a slide step.
Slide step. So when you take that slide step, you instead of giving him 1-2 seconds to steal from first to second, because he has the time as his leg goes up. I mean, you could throw over, but that's going to get technical. We'll talk about balks and everything. But the slide step contains him. He holds. In other words, he's at a set motion. He'll tell you. You bring the glove down, right? You bring it down. You bring it down. You bring it down, and now you stop. Once he stops, he can't break his hands anymore, or it's a balk. But you're holding that runner. And with a slide step, he doesn't get that big jump.
He don't get that time for that leg to go up.
No, and he's a righty pitcher,
right.
so he's going to angle the shoulder a little bit.
Yeah.
A lefty pitcher is looking at first base. It's a little more difficult. So in his position, he throws hard. So, again, and it depends who's on first base for him. If he's got a lot of speed, he's not going to throw as many breaking balls and changeups. It depends on the situation. Is it a hit and run situation?
Baseball's all about timing. Especially me as a pitcher, you don't want them to get used to your timing. You want to break up that timing as much as possible, and you want to be unpredictable. That's the game of baseball. You want to be unpredictable.
And it's a cat and mouse game. See, what you say about slow, it is slow if you're not a baseball advocate.
Yep.
But if you're a baseball advocate, it's a mind game, what he just said.
Yeah.
It's a cat and mouse game, and everything's about tricking him, not letting him time his motion.
Let me ask you a
his
question.
motion.
Go ahead.
But you know what? Now I'll look at baseball.
Let me ask you a question.
All right,
I'll look at it different.
I know what you're going to ask him something.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I got a
No,
feeling.
you
that.
don't.
It's gotta be a
No,
good
you
question.
don't.
He's laughing about
I'm going to ask you a question.
Watch.
No, you don't.
I guarantee I know
You
it.
have no clue. You have no clue.
Yeah, I do.
So when you were playing high school baseball...
Yeah. Did you get a lot of girls because of
No,
sports?
I have no clue. I'm
All right.
not a guy pussy or
All right.
anything like that. I don't talk about pussy on
All
the
right.
show. Not now.
Cut those 2 words. You just said.
So...
It's a family show here.
Oh, I didn't
No,
know
I'm
that.
kidding.
You told me you played high school football, baseball, and before this show, we talked about a couple things. Now, so in high school baseball,
Correct.
you had an argument with one opposing coach in your career, and who was that?
I don't want to say. I can't say.
Oh,
What are you trying to kill his baseball
Come
career?
on.
The guy's
No,
making
I
a phone
can't
call
say.
against
I
him.
can't say.
come on
Long
now.
Island's
Can I?
No, Long Island's a small place. I gotta get.
Can I
Let
say?
me go back to something, Mike. Can you go to his fastball and his
I would
change
listen,
up again?
I'd love to, but I can't. It's not just me. A lot of people.
Oh, I know. I can't. Who likes him anyway?
No,
This is the fastball.
but I can't say.
This is what?
Fastball.
Okay, go to this fastball, Mike. Let's watch his motion because we left this out before. That's why we went to it. Watch his motion. Okay, now go back to his changeup.
Now we're talking. You were telling
Go
me
to his
about.
changeup.
You were teaching me about the leg, right,
That's
John
slider. This is change up here. Hold on.
or Ben?
That's it.
Ben, what's the benefit of a pitcher to really throw that leg? I see a
Bring
lot.
a high leg kick.
Yeah.
But you're developing momentum.
Momentum,
So
speed.
you're getting more power with that leg. But then you're giving the guy on first base more of an
Well,
opportunity.
no, this
You don't do that
on
when a
first
guy's
base.
on first.
You don't do. You can bring the leg kick up because you have no one on first base to worry about. See, with pitching,
okay.
core and legs are very important along with your lats and shoulder. You want to be strong in key aspects of pitching because you want to have fast, explosive movements when you're pitching. Because when you're going down that mound, you want to be fast and explosive to home plate to create velocity.
Okay, just do it one more time and then go to his fastball. Just watch his motion, guys.
Here's the change up.
Okay, now go to the fastball.
It's not good balance.
Wait, go to the
I like your
fastball. Wait,
balance.
Mike. Let's see his fastball. You can't see now. I'm going to make a
You're
point.
a little less balanced. So not,
Well, you saw-
but
yeah.
but you drove. You
Yeah.
drove into that
Yes.
one. Yeah.
But-
The ball
it-
looks higher on the fastball.
No. What I'm going to say is his motion doesn't change. What his fastball
No,
is changing,
it's
which
the
is
same
good.
delivery,
Yeah.
but you can see it was you fell off more.
Yes,
given
I
that
thought-
pitch
yes,
because
correct.
you was
But
coming
that's
harder.
not going to give the pitch up to the back.
no, because it's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late. The ball's
So,
already
well,
the ball's already on the way back.
So-
the
so
ball's
what-
already on the way back.
What
to
I'm
the pitcher.
getting at is your fastball and your changeup. The big thing is you don't give it away,
Correct.
which is a big thing.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times you develop bad habits as a kid. Very, very difficult to change as you get into your age.
Yeah.
and you don't have a bad habit.
Well, luckily I had a great pitching coach growing up, and I still go to him today.
Yeah, it's obvious you did.
Yeah.
Who was your pitching coach?
Neil Heaton.
And,
Neil?
Yeah, I go to Neil. Every week I used to go to Neil.
Yeah, my brother Robin him. No.
What? Hey Ben, what's so important about hiding that ball? Like Mike and John. I don't know much other than what the odds are.
As a hitter, key hitting training is hand-eye coordination. You want to be able to see that ball. 90 mile an hour fastball gets to home plate in under a second. So you got to be able to recognize what that is, and you got to be able to recognize the spin.
1 second.
So if you
That's crazy. Sorry, 1 second.
Less.
Yeah, less
Actually
than
less.
No, it's like
Yeah.
point
7,
point
something like
7, 0.6, whatever.
I don't know how
But whatever the case is
I don't either.
if you pick up the rotation and the spin of the ball, you can mentally say, okay, here comes a slider, here comes a fastball, here comes a changeup. So you hiding that ball as long as possible gives the odds of the hitter seeing your grip to be less.
Now is it a lot of like any sport, right? You're still watching film, right?
Of course.
You're learning batters, different things. So there's a lot of preparation. You're just not going on there and fucking throwing the ball.
Well,
you kind of know their weak points, what they can't hit. It's a strategy too, right?
Here's my thing. There's a lot of people growing up. You see a lot of kids. Okay, they'll be asking, okay, who's on this team? Who are we playing? We got any good guys? Me, I look at it as like, okay, I'm playing the best guys, best nine in the lineup. I'm pitching to everyone like they're the best 9 in the lineup because. You look at the guy like he's a 9 hitter, he's weak, he can't hit. Next thing you know, you pitch him like
double
he's a
down
weak
the
hitter,
line,
and boom, like you said, double down the line. You can't pitch. People have that mentality. They get in their head is like, oh, it's a good team. Da da da. You got to think about it like everyone's the best. Everyone's the best, and you got to pitch to everyone effectively. That's how I look at it.
Do you study player by player like the night before who you're going up against?
Nope. I go out there and just pitch.
You just go out and pitch. Wow,
pitch.
really?
Good rest,
I would have
good
thought
food.
the whole other. I would have thought you would have watched film. It's just not like that with that.
No, because then you get in your head.
Oh.
I live when I'm on that mound.
You'll get mind fucked.
Me and that catcher.
But
That makes sense.
But
That
that's
makes sense.
different for a hitter than what he's saying.
Yeah, it's true. For a hitter, it's different because as a pitcher,
Your delivery's different.
I used to play against a pitcher that was, and is a name from the past, John Acario. Really good athlete. Threw hard, moving. He had a ball that would cut in on you. Natural fastball, which I liked. I hit against him because, again, I liked
You liked it in.
coming in. Yes.
You liked it in. Yeah.
But
Fucking
we knew, because we're always playing against each other, so all of us. So we knew what pitches a guy threw. And sometimes, as good as a carrier was, his biggest mistake was he didn't adjust a lot of times to the batters that knew him. Guys like me, we knew him. And great talent. I don't know what happened to him later on. I think I would assume he went to college and played ball because he was a great talent. But we used to study pitches. And in college, we study all our pitches.
Now in the MLB, both are studying, right? The pitcher's studying who they're going up against as a batter.
You know what it is?
Because like the World Series, they got to be.
Well,
they
when you
got
get to the major leagues, it's a lot different. It's more technical. You're dealing with big guys that more often, like their name. I'm pitching against Aaron Judge, for example. You know what he does. You got to study their points of where they're hitting for power, where they're hitting for weakness, their percentages of hitting, contact, power. You got to study all that stuff. I mean, me personally though, it's like okay. Some people like to study. I don't, because then I don't want anything being in my head when I'm pitching. When I'm pitching, I just want it to be
look for
me and
spots.
the catcher.
You're looking
me
for
and the
spots
catcher. He
that
calls
you wanna
outside fastball. I'm throwing outside fastball. He's throwing low and away on a slider. I'm throwing low and away, and that's it.
Yeah, you
that's what I focus
It's too much.
But and I hope you do. Bless you. Hope you do. When you make it to the major leagues, you'll be studying that motherfucking tape. I bet you'll be watching that fucking tape.
You came out of Long Island ball, right?
Correct.
Now, how'd you end up in Fort Myers? You started out in Fort
Myers.
So was that a scholarship? Or was it a phone call?
No, it was a phone call from Neil to my coach down in Fort Myers.
Okay.
And what happened was, he had me come down on a plane same week. Same week I threw for him. He liked it. But, I want to live here in Palm Beach, Boca Raton, and that's where I want to be. So my aspirations go to FAU next year, and obviously it's close to FAU, Palm Beach. So that's my ultimate goal. But
so did you play for Fort Myers last year?
Yeah, I played for Florida Southwestern State College, so junior college.
Okay, and so did you start? Did you pitch?
We pitched.
Did you have a record?
We played a lot of games, but it was like fall ball is like you don't keep records, kind of like
it's fall ball.
Yeah, it's fall ball.
Okay,
I didn't play a regular season with them
because of the COVID, or just because
you
just came down?
Just because I was here for the fall and I transferred to Palm Beach State for the spring, so I'm going to be playing for Palm Beach State. So we just started.
Did you play up in New York at all?
Yeah, I played. I played high school baseball, but then we got stuck with COVID. And actually, my senior year of high school, I got sick. I got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. So I was supposed to go to Cortland, upstate New York.
Right.
And what happened was I couldn't go. I wasn't fit to go away for school. My medicine was, I didn't get my correct medicine until I was 19, 20.
Not a shocker.
Now I'm on Humira.
But I'll tell you the truth, it did you a favor because you're playing in Florida.
Well, that's it. See, that's it. It's like, like you were saying, it's baseball from Long Island to Florida is a totally different game. It's a totally different game.
How so?
Competition.
These guys play all year round. They're bigger, they're stronger, they're more developed. It's like you could be an all-star on Long Island, right? You come down to Florida, you get shellacked.
You know where you get some great ball players come
That
out
makes
of?
sense because you can play all the time.
Yeah.
You get great baseball
Repetition.
players come out of Boston. And when Boston.
Sure.
And when they came down to Florida,
Guys
guys on my team and the guys were on other teams
powerful Irish
were
kids.
great ball players. And the thing is, I think they develop a lot faster because of what we just said. You're playing all year here. You can play 100, 120 games down here, 90 games, 80 games.
Yeah.
You're playing 6-7 days a week, depending on Coach Mullery, that was our coach, University of Tampa. Coaching's a big thing. He coached Tampa Catholic, was a big champ. We weren't allowed to swing as freshmen at anything that moved. Any kind of breaking, cutters, sinkers, changeup, nothing. We couldn't swing at it. He'd scream at us. Fastballs only, because he wants you to recognize the pitch. And this is one of the biggest things I was trying to look at him when he was throwing. Your coach did a good job with you because it's very hard to recognize his pitch. So if somebody that's looking at him with talent is going to scout him, they're going to look at his motion and say, this kid's got good development. Can we work with him? Can we bring him to the next level? He throws 92. Can we get him to 94? Can we get a little more cut on that breaking ball? So these are the things they're going to look at. Does that change up sink? When he throws it. So they're going to work on little things, but he has the tools to do it. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted you on the show, because I wanted to highlight whoever's watching this is going to see he does have the tools. Now he needs work ethic. And do you do your road work for your legs? Do you run? Do you do things?
100%. I'm in the gym, 6 days a week, eating like an animal.
Yeah.
That's the thing is, like, for anyone that is watching that wants to play serious college baseball, make it to the next level, it's not just, okay, I'm going to go out and pitch. No. It's working out. It's eating right. It's the knowledge.
Mind.
Exactly. You got to keep a clear head when you're on that mound. Yeah. There's so many guys who, they got.
How about a clear head when you're not on the goddamn mound? That's where you need. That's where you need. That's where you need to keep. That's the hardest part of the game. Is having a clear head when you're not on that mound.
You haven't been
out in the street, in school.
Yeah, but that's when we're going to ask you some questions for the kids that are listening. And some of the reasons why I brought.
Because otherwise, you never get on the goddamn mound.
You've never been in trouble, right? You don't get in trouble.
Never. Been in
So
trouble.
these are the more key things of why I had Felix as my co-host on the other show, because I was trying to show guys your age doing the positive things in life.
Correct.
And if you do the positive things, you get positive results.
That's right.
So you never been in trouble. You got a good mind. You talk about doing your studies. You got good parents.
Right.
So, some of the positive things that'll get you to the next level.
I'm grateful for my parents. Lucky my parents are great. I couldn't ask for anything more.
And you're a perfect example, honestly, for the kids that are watching the show. And I really mean that. And I got to know you, and you're a gentleman.
I appreciate that.
And you're a good athlete, but you're more so a good man. And you're a young guy as a good man. You're developing because of the role models you had. Your coach, your parents.
That's right.
And it's a good thing. And that's just what I want people to see when you're on here.
That's the thing is, like, growing up playing baseball, I'm sure you know this too, is, baseball is not, it's not just a sport, it's also a life lesson.
Yes.
You're taught how to respect elders and people, and how to talk with respect and the bond of having brothers on the field that you're playing with.
Something that I'm good at, working within the rules. You got to work within the rules. Something I've always excelled at, following all the rules. Johnny, you followed all the rules, right? Tommy, you have a rule follower as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
John, he just hit the nail on the head, though. That's a lot of the I don't know you, but I just met you today. But I can tell from hearing you talk. Kids nowadays, a lot of kids, not my kids, but
young men, by the way.
They don't, they try to tell their coaches what to do.
Yeah, no.
Or their mom's yelling, you need to put my son in. He's better.
No.
When I was a kid, you listened to your coach.
That's right.
You ran. If he told you to run fucking laps, you're running laps.
What are you coaching right now, Rob?
So I just coach youth football for my kids. Oh. And I'm hard on my kids.
Yeah, it's good.
And I'm hard on the other players.
That's good.
I'm not showing my kid's got to earn his spot.
That's right.
I'm a coach on the team as my kid's starting.
That's right.
And I've always been like that. But there's too many guys that come in, and they come in for one reason and one reason only. I'm going to coach football or basketball so my son could start.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works. Yeah. Sometimes it works. The kid is good.
Maybe he's good, yeah.
But you make a clown of yourself.
They're kids that don't deserve.
And the other kids don't respect you.
Yeah, no, exactly.
The other kids don't respect
Here's my
that.
thing is like, the big thing today is like growing up, everyone gets a trophy. No.
I was
Not
just going to
everyone
ask
should
you
get a
about
trophy.
that.
Not everyone should get a trophy.
You're in this generation of this trophy bullshit.
I hate this generation.
Well,
I hate it.
listen.
What the fuck?
Again, they're developing prima donnas in pro sports.
That's right.
And when you're developing prima donnas in pro sports, the kids and the younger generations are watching this and they copycat.
Yeah.
And that'll bring me back to why I say about Shaq is such a gentleman and he's an inspiration to young guys because he's such a positive role model or Kobe or somebody that's positive.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got a guy like him who's very positive because his coaches and his parents were teaching him right thing.
That's right.
But when a coach tells you to run, and this is, I don't care who it is, because Coach Mulry and Kavanaugh and Sabin, they were all very strict guys with us. But you run or you're sitting down or you're getting kicked off the field, you're not coming back.
That's how it was when I was playing.
Now, the problem is...
And then I get my ass kicked when I got home.
These ball players...
Oh, yeah.
They think it's a
My
debate.
grandpa, he was big like you. Oh, fuck.
But it's not a debate. He's running as a coach or his father or whoever.
Yeah.
And a lot of these fathers, like he said, you're not doing your kid any favor by playing them if they're not good enough. No. Because in life, you're not good enough. So would you go to a football game, a basketball game, a hockey game, and say it's in the middle of the game, it's the third period, it's exciting, it's a 2-2 game, 3-2 game. Well, see, everybody, it was a great game, it's over. It doesn't matter who wins. This is what they're trying to teach kids now. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Well, see, here's my thing is like I look at it like this. If you screw up and you do something you're not good enough or whatever, why would you get a trophy? If you screw up in life and you can't make $1 million, no one's going to give it to you. No one's going to just.
Well, California just changed in school that there's no D's and F's. You're not helping anybody by doing that. You're holding them down, and they know what they're doing.
That place
they're trying to stifle
fucking day.
Well, they're trying to stifle.
Did you learn critical race theory in school? Yes or no?
I mean, I think it started coming about when my brother got in high school.
Don't worry, because I don't even know what the fuck critical race theory is.
I'm just curious.
Do you?
I don't know.
Of course, I know.
You know, good because you have white privilege and stuff like that.
Yeah,
racist.
I just want to know.
Listen,
I don't know.
We're going to do a show on it.
It was more taught to my brother's generation than it was mine. I think the year after I got out is when all this stuff started.
No, really.
But it's just.
Yeah.
You're right though about that life lesson. Now that you put it into perspective, because when you're giving everybody a trophy, what would be the point of going home to work hard, right? At sports, but then you get that in your head. Then you go to a job and you're like,
you want to be the hardest worker in the room,
right?
So
like you've adapted to now this mindset, like I'm not working hard. Yeah,
that's communism.
Yeah.
There we go. Back to communism. Everybody's the same. We all get the same dot. We all get the same shirt.
But they're not all.
SpongeBob.
The same people that are pushing this agendas aren't the same. So if they said everybody's the same, they'd give their job to the guy below them. Right. So, you go down there if we're all the same.
Yeah. You think Joy Reid's going to give up her job? Is that what everybody's the same.
I always compare it to, you have to work hard. It's okay to mess up. Messing up is
part of life.
That's how you learn. That's how you get better, right?
Yep.
If you don't mess up, you're not going to know how to get better. No. And you have to lose. Yeah. Because you have to know what it's like to lose in order to win.
You get knocked down 7 times, you get up.
If you win all the time, you don't know what it's like to lose.
And you have to have the discipline.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to, right, Ben?
You can't expect to be good if you're showing up to the baseball field once a week to pitch in a game. If you're not home doing your own you're not lifting weights, you're not doing it. I've had, hours in the gym. I'll work last year, I was grinding to get down here. So I'd work 9 to 4:30. I'd go home, go to the gym. I go to the gym for 2 hours. I wouldn't get home till 9 o'clock because after the gym, I go to baseball. I practice baseball. And then you got to come home, and then you got to do schoolwork.
Now imagine you do all that. The other 9 guys, let's just say, don't do anything, and you all get the trophy. Now you just worked your ass off. Next season, I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm not working all these hours and, going back. I'm tired as hell. I want to play on iPad.
Here's the thing is, like, you got to look at it as, like, now in this generation, you almost have to be selfish with yourself. You got to care about yourself. You can't care about what other people are doing. You want to just pretend like they're working harder than you, and you want to work harder than them.
Good point.
I want to be the hardest worker in the room, no matter what it is. If it's life or if it's baseball,
so you kind of take like reality and make it your own reality, as if they're.
Well, I look at it as like baseball is a reality. Mm-hmm. If you're going to be the hardest worker in the room in baseball, why not life? You want to make the most money. Be the hardest worker to make that money. That's how.
What do you study?
Me, I studied criminal law.
You have yeah. Your dad's on the job?
Nassau. Yep.
So you study criminal law?
Yeah. I mean, listen,
what do you want to do with that?
My backup.
We might need you. Just kidding.
My backup plan was to be a police officer. I got called for the city. I deferred that because of school.
You got the best police officer in the world, right?
You got a great example here. Don't you worry. If you need any tips,
so
Johnny will teach you all the bad guy stuff.
No, but
so you're studying criminal law. So is that your subject major now?
Yes.
So, are you currently in school right now?
Correct. Yeah, I am.
Okay, and so what class load are you taking? 10 credits, 12 credits, 16
Right now I'm taking
credits?
12. See, I did, when COVID was going on, I was at Suffolk on Long Island. I was studying, and actually...
Criminal justice in Suffolk?
Yeah, and actually it's a good program.
Yeah, it is.
Learn a lot.
Well, isn't the police academy right there?
Yeah, it's right next to... Yeah.
Okay.
There's Suffolk's Academy.
Do they have any cops come in at all or no?
I actually went to... my professor actually invited us, me and 2 other guys from the class, into the deadly physical force simulation that they have going on in there.
Okay.
That was really cool.
Was it?
To see that and everything.
Yeah.
And
did they have me in speaking and teaching? I don't understand. Suffolk should have me in there giving the ethics class lessons. I mean, if I broke every ethical...
But here's the thing, and I was surprised, is all the guys who are teaching
Kid cut
those
me
classes,
right off, didn't he?
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
They're all retired. It's not like you got some bozo who's never been, on a job.
Oh, so your criminal justice department class?
They're all retired.
So they have experience in the street. Any gangsters teaching in there?
No, no gangsters.
No? What the fuck?
How many years?
You're a smart guy.
6 years?
I do classes.
6 years in school?
6? No, I'm going to do 4.
4? You can practice criminal law with 4?
No, criminal justice.
Criminal justice is criminal, same thing. But what's different is like, I learned the penal code in New York.
Right.
Totally different here.
Oh, okay.
I look at it, I'm like, I get them confused,
Yeah. The numbers. The numbers. Yeah, the numbers.
I'm looking, I'm like,
well, they have a book now and a computer. When you make an arrest today, you just look it up.
You go, right?
You know they did something wrong. You start with them.
Exactly.
So you can really cheat in school now because the computer will tell you. Just go over. How much you want? 20, 50? I got one last baseball question for you, then these guys can do the rest. When you have bases loaded as a pitcher, because now I'm learning a lot about baseball.
Uh-oh.
I know. I am. Because now I'm going to look for that fucking that catcher's glove.
Yeah.
So now you got full bases. How do you go about that pitch? Because now you really got to watch the fucking leg because you got everybody around, right?
They can't steal because
there's nowhere to fucking steal.
Every base is occupied. I mean, you can steal home. It's a brazen move, but you can do it. But me, it's just like you got to just pitch with that clear head. You can't think that, okay, every base is occupied. You want to just pitch to the best of your ability. And, I've gotten out of bases loaded, 0-out jams. That you have to...
Bullshit!
Swear to God. Bases loaded, no outs. I've gotten out of a jam.
That pisses me off when that happens. When you're when it's your team up and your bases are loaded and you're down by like 2 and you can take the lead on just a good hard single.
That sounds like something the Mets would do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I've been living with it. I've been living with it for all my life.
Yeah, it's something the Mets would do.
Frustrating.
Do you get wild as far as pitching?
No.
Do you throw a lot of...
No.
Okay. One of the best pitches that can hit anywhere on a glove, you guys are all young, was Catfish Hunter.
Catfish Hunter.
Yeah, he played for the A's and he played for the Yankees, and he was but he was great. He can frame. Listen, that guy can hit anywhere on.
So now I got a question for you guys. What are your favorite baseball players? Who?
There's a guy who I spoke to, and I spoke to his son, was Bobby Mercer for the Yankees. Okay. Listen, not only, again, this is a guy, and I called his son actually. David, that was involved with San Francisco, got me in touch with him. And as a kid, me and my brother loved Bobby Mercer and Ronnie Bloomberg. Ronnie Bloomberg was always hurt. He played first base. And Bobby Mercer, when we chased him with a bunch of fans, and Bobby stopped for all the fans. He drove a little Mercedes, and everybody was jumping all over his car, and he kept telling everybody, I will not go home tonight till I sign everybody's autograph. Just please stop jumping on the corner, relax. He must have said it 3 or 4 times, and finally after signing, and they wouldn't stop, he drove away. And he saw, we chased him. Yeah. We chased him forever. Everybody started quitting chasing. We just kept chasing him. And I guess he was looking in the mirror, and he stopped. And he got out of the car again, and he signed autographs for us. And he said, I wish, oh, man, he was so nice. What a gentleman. Yeah. And, we wrote letters to his at that time, his wife, and I don't know how old the son was. The son had to be very young himself. And he talked to us, he shook our hair and, our hands, and he asked us what kind of team. And we followed his whole career. later on in life when he passes away.
He passed away.
Yeah,
Mm,
he
early.
gets sick.
Passed
and
away
he passes
young,
away.
yeah.
He was young. But he was one of the greatest clutch hitters.
He was.
Yeah,
He was fucking clutch.
Guy was phenomenal. But more so, he was a great human being.
Yeah.
And I got in touch with his son, and I talked to his son, and I told him the story to tell his mom. And, you know, it's just, this is what makes people fans of ball players.
That's right.
And this is why he was a great example to young guys.
Of course.
So, you know, whether it was, you know, like I said, Shaq in basketball, or whether it was somebody in football that you liked. You know,
See, I think Shaq has an example of athletics.
Well, it's important with it. Huh?
He didn't practice.
No, I'm not. I'm talking as a human being.
As a human being,
as a human being, the guy is humorous, hardworking. He backs the police. He backs the police. He's, you know, honorable officer.
Can you imagine fucking Shaq coming to your house as a probation officer?
Yeah, right.
What would you like, sir?
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry that my door's a little bit
yeah,
short.
right.
You guys like this.
Yeah.
You know?
So my guy was Tom Seaver.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
And I'm gonna go one. I'm gonna add to that. Tom Seaver, because I grew up with him. You know.
Yeah.
I was 8 years old. Tom Seaver's on the mound, and it's always 1-0 Mets. You know.
Well, it was like Willie Mays for us too. We love Willie Mays.
Yeah.
I like Willie Mays
So then I'm gonna modernize it a little bit, and I threw it out there before, and I'm gonna tell a quick story with this one. So I was in Clearwater area. I was at a place called Ozona Blue, and in Ozona Blue, I meet a guy who's a scout for one of the teams down here. He's a jerk off, but he's with the third baseman for the Phillies, Dave Hollins. All right, so Dave Hollins is a monster. Dave Hollins broke Jeff Hostetler's arm. When Jeff Hostetler broke his arm for the Super Bowl, he couldn't make the Super Bowl. It's because Dave Hollins broke his arm that day. Okay, and no one knows this because he grabbed Jeff Hollins' wife up in Buffalo. All right, Dave Hollins is from Buffalo, New York. All right, it's a lot of history here, right?
Yeah.
But Dave and I and another guy out at the time, and I wasn't drinking then either. It's because I hadn't been drinking. I haven't had a drink in almost 5 years. Anyway, so we're bullshitting, and what happens is, he's telling me the stories about Lenny Dykstra. So Lenny Dykstra now goes from the Mets, who we were livid that they got rid of Dykstra, right?
It was right after the World Series, right?
Right the next year or something like that, whatever it was. I think actually 2 years later, after '88, the Mets got rid of almost everybody.
Yeah.
So Dykstra was fucking crazy.
Yes.
But we don't know this. We're baseball fans. We don't know how crazy he is. We don't know all about Dwight Gooden and the crack and all the shit that was going on.
I do. I was hanging out.
So anyway, he's telling us a story. Dykstra is playing in Florida, right, against the Marlins. So after a night game, at this time in Dykstra's career, he doesn't play the day game. He finishes the game, flies over to Bimini with the whole crew. He flies the whole crew over because he's got the money on the team, all right? He's the rich guy on the team. He flies everybody over, Hollins, the whole crew. They get in there, they're partying all night in the Bahamas, gambling at the casino. They fly back in the morning. Dykes was like, I don't give a fuck. I ain't fucking playing today. He's still high. He's high and hammered. He gets into the fucking locker room and he sees his name, center field, Lenny Dykstra. He's like, get the fuck out of here. So Dykstra, slick, he laughs. He goes, yeah, sure, fuck this. He gets up there. Now, he doesn't know before the game. He said the ump is already in. The ump is Big Eric Gregg, the black guy, the big heavy black guy. He's already up on the gig. Okay, so he goes. The coach tells him something. I'll say so. Dykstra gets up to bat, pitch right down the middle, strike one. Dykstra turns around and goes, "Fuck you, Eric!" Yeah, shut up, Lenny. You stop complaining. Right? Strike two, right down the middle. Strike two. Fuck you, you're blind, you motherfucker. He goes. Pitches down to him, strike me, fuck you. He goes, Lenny, it's 106 degrees in here. I'm going to ump this game, and you're going to play this fucking game. Dykstra goes 0 for 4. Probably one of the only games he goes 0 for 4. And what Dave Hollins also said to Dykstra's respect, and this is big. He says he's the best ball player I ever saw in my life, ever. Nobody. He said Maddox was on the mound one day. Dykstra was up, bing, bing, bing. He says, Dykstra walks in the fucking dugout and says, game's over. He says, they says it's the first inning, Lenny. He goes, Game's over. He turns around and says to the dugout, if I can't hit this motherfucker today, not one of yous in here can. They lost 1-0.
I don't know. One of the best baseball players
my
ever
favorite was Dykstra growing up.
second base for what's his name, Boston. What's his name? Used to play for Boston.
Can't even think of his
You can't
name.
fucking talk.
I can't think of his name. Dykstra was the best.
No, second baseman for Boston was some ball player. How am I forgetting his
Recently,
name?
when?
New?
No.
Yeah. I know. He's a Spanish guy.
No, white kid.
Dustin Pedroia?
Huh?
Dustin Pedroia.
Pedroia.
Dustin was good.
Great. Power hitter, clutch hitter. I mean, he's one of the greatest ball players in my opinion.
Best swing, I think, ever to walk a baseball field, Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Beautiful.
Listen.
I'm not saying power.
No,
I understand.
Just the fluid, like
he was
fluid
beautiful. He was a
swing.
beautiful.
He had a beautiful
beautiful.
swing.
Beautiful.
And then my favorite pitcher of all time, Sandy Koufax.
Yeah.
If he never got hurt, I think he would have been the best baseball pitcher ever.
Sandy was, the take.
Yeah, I saw the last
old,
couple hours of his pitching. Really, I mean, he was just about done when we were kids. You know.
Yeah, 66 was his last year.
Yeah.
Who'd you like, Rob?
I got weird ones. I got Mike Piazza. Love Mike Piazza.
Love Mike Piazza.
Ray Ordonez, not a hitter. But
Yes,
great
shortstop.
fielder, great
Shortstop.
fielder.
Yeah.
And personal note, Jose Fernandez, God rest his soul, passed away.
Oh.
He young pitcher from the Marlins,
Yeah.
a lot of potential. Got in a boating accident, died.
Yeah.
He actually signed a ball for both of my boys, and we have it to this day. Mounted. We were at the spring training for the Marlins. And there's a bunch of, we call them autograph whores, guys that are just there to get autographs to sell them.
Right.
So there were 3 kids. The Marlins suck. So there's like 3 kids there to try to get autographs. And Jose Fernandez is looking out, and he's talking in Spanish to his buddies. He's the kid standing. There's like 5 kids, my kids and a couple other kids. And he goes, I'm going to go sign some balls for these kids. So he comes over to the thing, and the autograph whores push straight up. So now they're pushing the kids against the fence.
Yeah.
Literally pushing the kids against the fence. He flipped his shit. And he says, I'm not signing not one autograph for an adult here.
Yeah.
Well, this is for my kid. He's like, if your fucking kid ain't here, you get an autograph. And he signed those kids' balls, and I respected that man.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
How about the Mets catcher DeLuca? He was pretty damn. He was a damn good ball player.
DeLuca.
Well, he follows me on Twitter. It was really funny. Yeah, it was like 4 or 5 years ago. He started following me on Twitter.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, right?
And maybe give him a shout out. Tell him to come on the show. I'd like to talk to him.
He's following you, not me. You give him a shout out.
Yeah, I'm saying, we'll give him a shout out on the show. You know.
Yeah. Pull up his Instagram.
Who's in? We're pulling up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's mine.
So it's,
Look at you.
go ahead, Ben.
Let's see what we
I
got.
mean, I got nothing. I just pictures.
That's
That was
all
my
right.
baseball picture.
What are you doing? Modeling too on the side? You do a
It's
little.
looking good, you know? Trying to look good at least. That's home. That was when I went home for Thanksgiving.
He's in front of my place, Cartier.
Yeah,
all my
That's
glasses.
here. That's here.
Yeah, I like him.
I love them. I went to
Yeah.
go look at them. I was looking which ones I like. That's in a gym.
Yeah,
That's my
Lane.
friend John Linden's supplement shop. Best supplements in the world. For anyone that's watching, he could ship all over the United States. Classic Sports Nutrition. Montauk.
There you
Vacation.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, a little vacation.
This weekend? Was it this summer? Or?
This was this summer. Yeah.
Oh, no, you don't have a mask on. What the?
Yeah, no mask. I'm not wearing no mask. I got kicked out of Chipotle like.
Well, listen,
last week.
AOC came down there. They ridiculed the shit out of him, rightfully so. You know, they're in New York with masks, with this, with mandates, and then they fly down here, and like COVID's not down here,
Well,
so
look at
they
Nancy
want it
Pelosi.
both ways.
Look at Nancy Pelosi. She bought a place. Didn't she?
Yeah,
buy a
25 million.
place? Yeah.
Did she
It's
bought
in
a place
Florida.
down here?
In Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
Go to California.
She's a real gangster. That
Hey,
fuck.
the
I'll
governor,
tell
the
you.
governor,
She is. You're being
They're
lying.
straight up gangsters. Don't
hey,
kid yourself.
Governor DeSantis.
I don't
said-
like her, but she's a straight up gangster.
Governor DeSantis said, if I had $1 for everyone that comes and complains about COVID, wants restrictions,
And moves to Florida.
yeah, and then come down here with move or vacation.
Yeah.
I mean, they're so double standard. That's the problem,
Oh, they have-
right?
it's all of them.
They want to have all this lockdowns and power and that bullshit for power, but then they come down here, they don't wear masks. Even in their own states, they get caught everywhere without any mask, without anything. So
Let me ask you this question. I don't want to get him in trouble, but it is what it is. How do you it's not because how do the young guys today feel about the environment and I don't want to like put you out, I don't want to punk you out in a political way, but like how do you feel about what's going on with it. Like
With the masks?
Well, not what's with the masks. I mean, we all know what the masks are useless and everything else.
Yeah, we know that.
But I'm talking about like the environment that you're coming up in. Like they're swinging towards communism. How do you feel? What do you want to? What do you want to do about it?
I like freedom.
What
Listen, I used to go to all the Trump rallies and everything, the Back to Blue rallies, all that stuff. You know.
So are you comfortable with that in college down here? I mean,
listen, I in college you got to keep your mouth shut. In college, you got to keep your mouth shut. Because
see, that's that I don't like it.
But here's the thing.
Why should you keep your mouth shut?
You gotta know your place, because guess what? That person gets on your bad side. You know, you don't.
Then what? They tell the teacher on you.
You don't want to start problems that you don't have to start. You know what I mean? Like outside of school, different story. Let them preach whatever they want to preach, because guess what? It's not changing my decision. You know, in high school, I used to go back and forth with them, and I kind of learned it's not gonna help. You know,
what the libtards?
What are the young kids? All your friends?
That's disgusting.
What are all your friends?
Here's the thing. Is my friends are on the straight arrow like I am. Okay. Here's the thing. Is like you get kids who don't really know and don't come from like a parental background where they're going into school and they don't know any better.
So the school is their teacher and their family.
They're trying to indoctrinate people.
They got no parents in the house,
if
John.
You're stupid, you're not going to realize that.
Well,
that's full, you know.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. When you have big government telling you what to do, they're controlling your lives. Yeah. You don't have control of your own life. Now, I don't care. I say this all the time. If you're Democrat, you're Republican, independent, you should want to be able to run your own life.
I agree.
So freedom is running your own life. And Ronald Reagan said it.
Yeah.
Anytime the government gets involved, they screw it up.
Most worried.
So, you know, if you're black, Spanish, or any other color, Indian, Arab, white, green, blue, gray,
red,
there's
Purple.
no reason you need somebody to tell you. I don't need to tell you, or anybody else need to tell you. If you go out in the middle of traffic, you may get hit by a car. Yeah. So when the government tries
very
to
good
step
example,
in,
by the way.
Yeah. So when the government tries to come in and stop you, if you want to be successful, you got to work hard. You know that.
That's right.
If you want to be successful, work ethic, you need to study.
That's
right. So there's nothing this government can tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And if they are trying to push that agenda, it's only to manipulate.
Yeah, and now that, like, you know, you look at New York, for example, right? You're paying how much in taxes a year? You got to live under the communism rules of the mask, the vaccines. Listen, if you don't want to get the vaccine, you shouldn't be forced to get it. You know, you shouldn't have to get it if you don't want to get it.
I agree with you.
So whatever the case
I agree. I recommend you might want to get one.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, of
Are
course.
you fucking crazy?
No. I recommend you might want to.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
if you want to,
there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with getting it.
I recommend you might want to, but I'm not saying get it.
Yeah, no.
Do what you want,
yeah,
but
exactly.
I might recommend it. My mother and father, I'm happy they got it.
But here's the
great thing
problem.
about
Here's the problem. When they tell you have to do something,
That's when they
imagine if they told you got to eat steak 3 days a week now.
Exactly.
And I mean, you might like steak.
I like steak.
But yeah.
Yeah, we all
But
like
if they made you,
They're making you
you
do
wouldn't
it.
like it. I bet you wouldn't like it after a month because they're making you do
The
it.
problem is when AOC, she's too stupid of a fucking bitch, actually, to go to Florida and say it's because everybody wants to bang me. What does that have to do? I mean, this
So
is
they
the
might.
mentality.
They might want to.
But the mentality to even say something as ignorant and stupid as that is
Right.
the reason why I just called her a bitch. Because you went to Florida and you're not wearing a mask. Now, you've been bullshitting everybody about that, so you're a liar.
Right.
Yeah.
You go to Florida and it's freedom, but at home you're trying to mandate things. You talk about socialism, but you're selling sweatshirts for 3 times the money as a capitalist.
Yeah.
You take a pay and you complain about you want to raise. If you don't want that stuff, give it away to somebody else and become a bartender again.
Yeah.
So
Sling it, baby.
Wait. She's
Sling
selling
it.
Yeah.
sweatshirts?
Oh, yeah.
What the
She
fuck?
was
website,
wearing
her
a
clothing
dress.
line, I think.
You got to see the dress she was wearing. A designer dress.
What?
But she wants to talk about socialism. See, the problem is they're hypocrites
I
and
didn't know
they're
it was
full
like
of shit.
legal
Oh,
to
yeah.
do in that
You know,
position.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm going to
wanna
tell
excel.
you, you should get the vaccine because I got the vaccine. That's okay,
It's in
right?
fucking New
I'm
York,
all for it.
right?
I'm not telling you have to get it.
Yeah.
But when they do what they do and they tell you it's dangerous, and then they go to Florida and you're dancing around, hugging everybody, talking in their face, so you're just full of shit.
Yeah.
It didn't go away for 5 minutes. So when I see a guy in a bar and he's sitting there with his mask on, then he turns his mask on, he takes a drink. COVID just slipped in there.
Yeah,
so
you got it.
These
Yeah,
are
or the 10 o'clock curfew.
These are
Comes out
moronic.
after 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
It comes out after 10 o'clock.
Yeah, 10 or 11
Yeah,
in Long
10,
Island.
10,
It was
10.
10.
Or they close you in. They tell you can't eat indoors. They open outdoors and they
And they
lock
put a
you
big,
in.
they put a
They
big
lock you in
tent,
a table with a tent and it's
tent with,
locked in.
with a heater on.
Yeah,
How does this make sense?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
They got power. They got a lot of power.
Well, they got idiots that follow because they're sheep. They're too stupid.
But they got so much
sheep.
power. I didn't even know she was down here. I didn't even know that she was selling anything. I mean, you knew, but
She's been selling sweatshirts for
I guarantee you put 100 people in here,
But
90 of them don't know.
Like you were
But I
talking
mean,
about
that's just
school.
because they hide everything.
Now it's like what Mike was touching on school and everything, but now it's like, what kind of kids are having a high school experience?
Yeah.
You can't hang out with your friends at lunch no more. You
Yeah.
have to wear a mask the 6 hours a day you're in school.
Yeah, you can't kiss these chicks. You know? I mean, it's not cool.
No, it's not. You can't.
Yeah, you
you know,
can't
The reason why they make you a mask, in my opinion, is because they want to take these young kids and make them brainless as they get older, kill their self-confidence.
Yep.
So if you can do that, you can control them.
Well,
when
you all
wanna
look the
control
same with a mask on, pretty much, don't we?
You know what I call them? I
Put
call
a
them,
mask
I
on and
call them muzzles.
sunglasses.
I say, I'm not a dog. I'm not wearing a muzzle. You know?
And the parents that allow their kids to wear it or force them to
So
wear it
you
should
go
be
to
ashamed
school,
of themselves.
So you're
in my
on
opinion.
vacation right now.
No, I live here.
No,
Palm Beach State.
right now you're not in class.
Well, no, yeah. We
Yeah.
start.
No,
we
he's
start
in our
the 11th.
studio.
We start the 11th. We
start the 11th.
Baseball practice starts.
How was it with the masks in school and college? Because
They say-
college is
okay,
a little
here's
fucked
the
up
difference.
down here.
And remember, Florida.
Yeah.
No, I know that.
But here's
I
the
know.
thing: they'll put, they'll give you they'll give you lunch money. You'll give you $100 in lunch money credits for getting the vaccine. You proof the vaccine.
Oh,
whatever.
Well, they did that with the
here's
Krispy Kremes.
Well, here's
they
the
did that
thing,
with
yeah.
Krispy Kremes.
Well,
You
here's
got
the other
fucking
thing.
6 Krispy Kremes if you got a fucking vaccine.
I'm going in to get my Krispy Kreme.
I'm not going to your fucking funeral, so you do that. fucking.
And they'll put signs all over.
Wait
the
till we
place.
get more
They'll say,
sponsors.
in New York it says mask is required. Here they'll say mask is recommended.
Oh,
They
well,
can't
that's all
enforce
right.
it. They
If they
can't
say
enforce
it's
it.
recommended,
it.
that's all right.
That's
it.
okay.
Fine. That's fine.
I'm
Nothing
okay
wrong
with
that.
that.
Yeah.
I
If you wanna
recommend you
wear
wear your
one.
seatbelt. I recommend you wear your
That's it.
seatbelt.
That's it.
But
That's not a mandate.
No,
Right.
no. That's,
We got to cut this, guys.
Yeah, right.
So,
All right. Anything else, Ben?
No, I'm
Mike?
all good. I
Ben,
appreciate you guys.
I'm
having
going
me
to tell
on
you
the show.
one thing I want to end this. When you make the pros, we want season tickets.
That's it.
All right,
That's
all right,
that's
yeah.
the only we want.
You
And,
got 4 to send
Better
to.
be for the Mets.
Yeah.
you don't turn around over your shoulder.
Don't
I don't
forget
know.
us.
I don't know who these old guys are.
Yeah, as long as I listen, I just hope I'm not on the Yankees. Listen, the money would be good, but I'd rather play for the Mets.
You want to play for the Mets?
I wanna play for the Mets.
Let's not cut them out, all right?
We're going to watch your
Let's
career.
let them fight against each other to negotiate.
That's right.
We stay in touch anyway. We're going to watch your career. We're going to follow you, and we'll post you up here as it goes.
I appreciate it.
And, best of luck to you, your
Thank you.
family. And
Tell your
Happy
dad.
New Year. Yeah.
Yeah, tell
Thank
your
you.
dad and
Best of
family
luck,
we
man.
say hi.
Nice to meet you,
be on
by
the
the
show.
way.
Thanks for
It was
coming
great
in.
to meet you guys.
All right, guys.
It's a beautiful morning in New York City.